Welcome back to WCTV for another Senior Spotlight for our 2023 Spring Graduates. I'm Spencer Terry, and joining me alongside today, Gwyn Napier. Gwyn, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you, Spencer?
Very good. So our first question today, what brought you to Waynesburg?
So I ran cross country all through my high school years, cross country and track. So I had a lot of potential colleges that I went to visit, but this one had the best communications program. Actually, Professor Krause, he set up a tour with me while I was touring with cross country, and I actually got to come sit behind the desk, read off the teleprompter, and I just felt like family here. I could tell it's so family oriented, so that's just why I came here.
And how did you decide you wanted to be a public relations major when you came here? And originally you just came here, not originally just for track, but the comm department played a big role in that as well.
Yes, so I am a journalism and public relations major. I double majored in both. My main focus was journalism coming in. I wanted to be on the TV, I wanted to be out in the field reporting, and then I thought a little bit about it, and I know that there are public relations jobs right now that need to be filled, so I just realized that that would be a good thing for me to do. I'm here, why not go ahead and double major, so that way when I graduate college, I'll be able to find a job easier.
And as mentioned, we talked about it, you're the radio GM and you have been for 2 years now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so like I said before, when I came in I came in to be on the TV. I came in behind the scenes, and I went to every meeting. My mom told me, you need to get involved when you go to Waynesburg. You need to go to every freshman orientation meeting. You need to go to everything. So I did go to everything. I went to WCTV. I went to WCYJFM. I went to Matt Anthony, the yearbook. I went to the Yellow Jacket, the newspaper, just getting involved in everything. And at the radio meeting, I sat in the back because I didn't really ever have experience with radio. And they were giving shifts out. The GM at the current time was giving shifts out, and I didn't take a shift because I didn't know what a shift was. So I sat in the back. And then a few days later, he messaged me and he said, "Hey, would you like a shift?" So I took 9:00 p.m., the latest shift at the time, because I didn't want to be heard on radio, and I absolutely fell in love with radio and WCYJ. I just loved it. So then sophomore year, I became the music producer, which we schedule the music, make sure everything's going well on the radio station, and I absolutely loved that. So then I wanted to work higher, and I wanted to become the general manager of WCYJFM. So junior year, I was given that honor, and I loved it. I loved being able to go out in Waynesburg's community, play music, have a good time with my staff, make sure everybody knew what was going on with WCYJ, make sure that everybody, freshmen coming in, could get shifts to be on WCYJ. And towards the end of my junior year as the GM, I didn't know if I wanted to continue this path. I didn't know if I wanted to go on to another path, maybe something in TV rather than radio. However, they needed somebody to step up and be the GM because we had no applicants. So with my knowledge of already being the GM for a year, I stepped up, and I have no regrets that I did this. It's been a wonderful year. I get to graduate as the GM. I've got to lead Darian Allensworth to the GM. So it's just an amazing experience.
So you've had 2 internships over your time here at Waynesburg, one with a news station and one a little bit different, I know, from us being together for a while now, talking a lot about it. I can assume that you liked the second one, which you did this past summer, a little bit better. Can you tell us a little bit about the Ritchie County Humane Society?
Yes, so I'll actually talk a little bit about both of my internships. I took an internship my sophomore summer going into junior year, so it was a little early to take an internship, but I just wanted to get out and I wanted to get experience. And I took that at WBOY, which is a news station in Clarksburg, West Virginia. However, I didn't know there was paperwork that you needed to fill out to do the internship class, so that was pretty much just a discovery internship for me. It really didn't relate to anything here at Waynesburg. And then I am a very huge animal lover. I love animals. Any animal, I love it. And I was looking for another internship to take for the internship required class here at Waynesburg. And I'd already worked with the Ritchie County Humane Society as somebody who just came a volunteer, I would say. And I just wanted to do a public relations internship. So that's what I did for the Ritchie County Humane Society. I got there in the morning, I answered the emails, answered the phone calls, had conversations with potential adopters, as well as doing stuff behind the scenes. So once everything was taken care of with the PR aspects, I was like a volunteer. So I would clean kennels, I would give sick little kittens their medicine, which was probably my favorite experience from that, was just helping them get better.
So you 4 years now at Waynesburg. I know there's one deep down there. What has been your fondest memory here while being at Waynesburg?
That is a very difficult question. So many memories out of 4 years of college, so many. One of my sadder favorite memories would be when we got sent home for COVID. I was sitting in Melinda, Professor Skirbin's class, and everybody came in, and Professor Krause came in, because we just found out that we were going to get sent home. And we all just realized what that meant for a communication department that was so involved. And we just were crying, we were holding hands, we were hugging, everybody was just so emotional, and that was one of my favorite memories. And a happier favorite memory would be working the Christmas parade this year with Caleb Yager. It was very windy. There was a lot going on, but it was an awesome time, and it was an awesome time just to be able to host a parade. That's an experience that I've never had before.
So you talk about being so close to everyone here, like you mentioned during the COVID thing and how that happened. What will you miss most about being at Waynesburg?
Definitely the family aspect. I will miss my comm family. Like I said, we are so family oriented, and I plan to come back. I definitely do, because I want to see what the underclassmen are doing once I leave. I want to check in on Darian and make sure that he's stepping up to the WCYJ role, which I have no doubt that he will, but definitely my family is what I will miss the most.
So we talk a lot about here how the professors are real good, they're real involved. Are there any influences, any specific influences during your time here?
I honestly feel that every professor I have has impacted me in my journey in some way. I was a journalism major coming in, and Professor Krause, when are you going to join PR? When are you going to join PRSSA? Kept hounding me, and I'm happy that he did, because now I'm a PR major. I'm graduating with a double major. Doug Wilson. I probably wouldn't have been the radio GM without him. He's just a loving person. Same with Melinda. Melinda is such a loving person. She loves to get everybody involved. And Lanny Fratteri, when I came in, I was scared of Lanny. He was very loud. He was a very powerful figure, but now I know that he's somebody I can count on even after I graduate.
So what is next for Gwyn Napier?
What is next for me? Well, I accepted a job with WBOY, the station that I did an internship at, which is really funny because I didn't see myself going there, but I love it. I've actually been working on the weekends, so I go home every weekend, and I am a reporter, multimedia journalist. That is what I'll be accepting when I graduate. So it's been really nice just to be able to get my feet wet and just kind of already start my job before graduating.
So we know you work at WBOY now, you've worked with the Humane Society. If you had one big dream job, where would it be? What would it be? Could you describe that a little bit?
So I am happy where I'm at in my life right now. I definitely want to work up to Washington, D.C. I have visited a lot. I just love the city. I just love being there. I want to be an anchor in Washington, D.C. I would also like to, once I start settling down and starting my family, I think I'm going to go more into my public relations major, because news reporting is a demanding job. We all know that here. We're taught that when we come in. So just settling down, starting a family, I would like to start my own event planning business. Very
cool. And one last question. I know I kind of talked about influences earlier, but I know how big your mom is to you. Could you explain a little bit about how well she's taught you? I know you lean on her a lot. How big has she been over these past 4 years at Waynesburg?
My mom is definitely my rock. She is probably my favorite person ever. Just like I said, get involved. She told me to get involved in everything. I got involved in everything, and I don't regret that I did. She was honestly the person that told me maybe you should get involved in PR, and I did, and I love it. And she's just an amazing woman. She's just, anything I say, she runs with. I'm a pageant queen as well, so she is a pageant mom. She's had to do a lot of stuff, but anything that I say, hey, let's do this, she's right behind me, being my #1 fan.
For this episode of Senior Spotlights, stay tuned to our WCTV YouTube page to see the rest of the spring graduates.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.